So all set and raring now, and all systems go for York.
Yeah, all being well. We're very happy with the horse. Obviously, it's a little bit tricky when you thought you might have had him at his peak for the Guineas, and then obviously not running, and it's always a little bit tricky then to know how much to do or how little to do leading up to York. But I mean, the main thing is the horse needs to run now. If we've with the Investec Derby in mind, he's got to run in a trial and get the season going. So I think whatever happens at York, he'll come on for the run. It looks like it's going to be a very competitive race and probably have a huge impact on the Derby market. But I hope if we run to expectations, he'll be very competitive at York.
For how long have you realised you got something special? Was it long before the Royal Lodge and almost back in day one?
Yeah, it was sort of obvious when we start sitting the horses upsides as early as now. You know, in the spring of his 2-year-old career, he always did everything very easily. And when he had his first run at Sandown, we really thought, although he was a 16-1 shot or whatever he was, we thought he'd run well. The penny dropped a little bit too late to win that race that day, but it took David Probert rode him, and it took him to the railway fences to get him pulled up, and that's always quite a good sign if the horse sort of gets the message and then doesn't want to stop. And then the rest is history. Obviously, I don't think he got troubled after that, really. The Royal Lodge was the only race he sort of had to dig deep to win. But I think that was a combination of inexperience and the slightly quicker ground sort of caught him out that day. But he still got the job done, and then obviously he was hugely impressive at Doncaster. And I think the form's been frank since of most of his races. I mean, the winners come out from behind him, because that was always questionable last year. At the end of last year was just exactly how much he'd achieved and the merit of his form. But I think there's been enough collateral evidence since to suggest that it was, he's a very high class horse.
How excited are you getting?
Yeah, very. Look, obviously it's nice. He's a homebred, and it's wonderful to have a horse that you think might go to Epsom with a chance. But obviously the trial will tell us all. And just as I said before, if he runs to expectations there, he's going to be competitive and he's going to come on for the run, and we can go to Epsom full of hope. That's what we're intending anyway.
Of course, you won the Dante with Bonfire, but this is a very different animal.
Yeah, he is. I mean, Bonfire obviously was Group 1 placed at 2. He was always a horse we held in high regard, but he had a similar preparation in that we were due to run in the D stakes, and we had to scratch him at the last minute because the ground was too soft. And he went on and won the Dante, obviously, but he was a horse who I think he struggled with the proximity of the Derby to the Dante, and we were always then playing on the back foot because the race was so close, and to get him then freshened and prepared for Epsom was a challenge. But Elm Park's a very different mental constitution, and he's the sort of horse I don't have any problems with that. 3 weeks or whatever it is plenty.
And the trip, mile and a quarter at York for a mile and a half at Epsom, do you think the mile and a half is what he wants?
Well, look, he certainly stayed a mile well last time. His father stayed a mile and a half well. There's sort of mixed messages on the dam side, but a mile and a quarter certainly is not a problem. The only way to find out about the mile and a half is to try it.